Diplomacy is back. You are the center of all that I intend to do. You are the heart of it. We're going to rebuild our alliances. We're going to re-engage the world and take on the enormous challenge we face.
Now, why are we here? We are here today to introduce our proposal to cancel $50,000 in student debt.
Right, yeah.
And take a huge burden off so many people in America. College should be a ladder up. For too many people, debt is the anchor that weighs them down, and they rarely overcome it.
If my channel gets to 50,000 subscribers by the end of this week, I'll be giving away a total of 50 Amazon gift cards. That's right, folks, 50 of my subscribers will receive a free Amazon gift card. Now all they have to do to enter to win is subscribe to my channel, click the notifications bell, and give my videos a like.
New Yorkers and others out of work, people across the country have been crushed by the overwhelming loan burden that they've had. This debt holds people back from buying cars, from going on vacations, from starting families, from getting the job they want to get. It's a huge anchor on our entire economy, and there's very little that the president could do with the flick of a pen that would boost our economy more than canceling $50,000 in student debt. It'll be a huge push into our economy. The bottom line is this is one of those things the president can do on his own. Senator Warren and I have researched this thoroughly. Other presidents have done it, not in the magnitude we're asking, but the fact that they have been able to do it shows there is legal authority. We have met with the president. We are pushing the president and his people, and we are very hopeful that the cry from one end of America to the other, take this student loan debt off our backs, will be heard in the White House, and we can accomplish this goal. And I'll tell you one thing, we are not going to let up until we accomplish it, until $50,000 of debt is forgiven for every student in the country.
I'm prone to conspiracy theories and all kinds of big lies and everything else. And here is the simple truth, not complicated. Right now, in this year, 2021, we face more crises than this country has faced, certainly since the Great Depression and maybe going back to the Civil War, when the very existence of this country was at stake. As we speak right now, whether it's in your state of Georgia or my state of Vermont, or all over this country, there are tens of millions of working families who have lost their jobs, lost their incomes, and they are worried tonight as to how they're going to be able to feed their families. They're worried about the back rent that they owe. We have a moratorium on evictions, but that moratorium someday is going to end. And people are saying, how am I going to pay thousands of dollars in back rent? I'm going to be evicted. I'm going to be out on the street. And people in the midst of this terrible, terrible pandemic, where we have lost over 400,000 lives, well over 400,000 lives. There are over 90 million people who are uninsured or underinsured and are having difficulty affording going to the doctor.
Jen, as it relates to COVID relief, you said the president wants to take care of people that need the help the most. Obviously, a lot of Americans right now say that they need help. So how do you determine who needs help and who doesn't? Where do you draw that line?
Well, again, Peter, I think what we're hoping to do through the package is provide assistance to Americans who are struggling to make ends meet at this moment in time. And you're right, there's a large swath of Americans who are struggling through this moment in time because they fear about their health, the health of their grandparents, of their cousins, of their parents, and also people who worry about their kids going back to school and their desire to get their kids back in school and continue learning. The package itself, again, is of course a priority of the president. It is not the end of our work or the end of his efforts to help bring relief to the American public. It is a first step, as he noted, I should say. He's also going to talk about his Build Back Better agenda in the coming months, and that's something that will certainly build on this as well.
So then, I guess how soon, for the Americans who are listening to every word that's here, how soon should they expect that relief to come? And can you guarantee that it's going to be there before the March 14 deadline when unemployment insurance, for example, expires?
You're right, and that's something that we're very mindful of here. The president's mindful of, the vice president's mindful of, our economic team is certainly mindful of, Peter, and that's one of the reasons why the president has been so firm in his insistence that the $1,400 checks remain intact and that they go out to the American people. There's a process underway in Congress. Next week, the committees will be doing the work that they should be doing, that they do through the budget reconciliation process. We have been very clear about our own view of the urgency here, and we're hopeful that, and we're confident that Congress shares our view of that.
The president talks about bipartisanship. He's met with Senate Republicans, then Senate Democrats, then spoke to House Democrats. When is he going to meet with or speak to House Republicans?
He's every single day he is meeting with members of both parties, engaging with members of both parties. That work is not done, but I don't have a meeting to announce for you here today.
Has he spoken or has he met with Kevin McCarthy yet, the leader of the...
I don't have any calls to read out for you. Our team remains in touch, again, with Democrats and Republicans, members of our economic team, members of our political teams. We are certainly engaged with all offices that have an interest in engaging with us.
Basic costs of living, of necessities. So today, the Senate is going to take the next strong step forward in passing a rescue plan to lift the country out of the crisis and set it back on the path to normal. Starting this afternoon, we begin the process of debating amendments to the budget resolution. When that process is complete, at whatever hour, we'll vote on final passage and pave the way for Senate committees to begin crafting the rescue plan itself, in coordination with House committees as well. The amendment process here today will be bipartisan, and it will be open, and it will be vigorous.
That we would make sure that working class families, each individual gets $2,000, and we're going to keep that promise. $600 then, $1,400 now. As a result of this pandemic, we have seen a horrific increase in unemployment. Unemployment is soaring all over this country. Millions of workers have lost their jobs.
They're not able to buy homes. They're not able often to move out of relatives' homes. So the idea behind this is to put more money into the pockets and better long-term prospects for young people who are starting their economic lives. In the long run, canceling this student loan debt will be a big positive, not only for those families, but also for our economy.
Many of us believe that there ought to be greater stimulus, and even in Build Back Better, the president believes better stimulus. This is a giant stimulus for the economy.
Now guys, that is all the news in this video. I hope you folks found this video useful.